We're going to work on animal projects in a few weeks, and I spent my weekend doing a sample animal project. I got here early with the intention of going to make copies. That did not happen because the copier was down, which was very unfortunate. It's that spring fever, you know what I mean? And I'm really tired.
Never broke a bone, so I'm gonna try hard to prove you wrong. That I'm not who I used to be. I'm not living at 17.
Good morning, everyone. My name's Katie. I'm a third grade teacher in the state of Florida, and you're here for a week in my life. All right, everybody, it's Monday morning, and I'm happy to report it's going to be a completely normal week, except it's 51 degrees outside when I woke up this morning. So I made myself a warm coffee because that sounded a little bit cozier than an iced coffee today. It's April 22nd in Florida, and last week recess time was like 90 degrees outside. So to wake up and it be like 51 was quite strange. It did rain yesterday, so I think that brought like the cold front in, but it was a little odd. But that hits the spot. It's a local ground coffee with a little bit of creamer. That's really good. Thumbs up for that. Okay, let me close it so I don't forget that I have it open. It's been a while since I brought a warm coffee. So I have my lesson plans over here because I need to go through them myself. There's a couple things that I need to do before I get the day started, but I wanted to make sure I took you guys through everything that I was doing in my day now because I have an intern from another teacher's class coming to spend the day with me today. So I really won't have time to pick up the camera again for a while today. And I want to be able to give her my full attention while she's in here. Well, I mean, give my class my full attention, but also like I'm going to be going over things with her, asking her questions, and like she's going to get to observe. So that's going to be really fun. But things that we're doing today, the good news is, oh gosh, there goes my voice again. I still have like a little tiny lingering of my cough that I got literally 2 weeks ago. But it's okay. I think it's on its way. Well, I know it's on its way out, and it better be on its way out. So it's a completely normal week, which is great because if you watched my last vlog, you know that last week we had 2 field trips in 1 week, and then we had a strings concert and a Newcomb game, and it was insane. So to have a normal week right here in the middle is going to be perfection because next week is the week before testing, and I have some room transformations that I'm going to do review stuff, and so that's going to be a little bit wonky, and then we'll have our testing week. So this week I'm going to hold on to it because this is like one of the few and final normal weeks that we have left. So what we're doing today is we are halfway through chapter 14, which is on comparing fractions. So we have our comparing fractions quiz. Let me show you. All right, here's the quiz. It's just from Go Math. It's called a mid-chapter checkpoint. There is just a couple questions. There's a vocabulary question. There's some, it says use fraction strips to model the problem. So I guess I need to give them fraction strips before they take the quiz. Then, which makes sense, like let them use that. Then write a comparison and then complete the number line and compare the fractions. So it's all about comparing fractions. And I'm going to give them that quiz. Hopefully it'll take about 20 minutes is my guess. So I'll probably try to start the day quite quickly so we can take about the first 20 minutes or so to work on this because then we've got to jump into the lesson, and I have a lot of kiddos who leave for intervention or for enrichment at 9:30. So I'll probably have to start the news at like 8:30 today. Like get a really good quick start on it so I have a solid 30 minutes hopefully with everybody before they leave after this quiz. So I usually use the quiz and I'll make a group of people who like this gives me a real good idea of what I need to reteach with who. So then after that, we're doing comparing and ordering fractions, which won't be too bad because they'll already have their fraction tiles, it seems like. So that's good. And it's like putting fractions in order from greatest to least. So that should be pretty straightforward. Then we'll have our AR time. We might go into AR time a little bit with math, but that'll be okay. They have art for specials today. Then we'll have our snack and read aloud. We've picked back up with Wonder. Things are moving and grooving. I don't think we're going to finish it though because, well, I think we'll finish it, but I want to end the year with 4th grade rats. And so I really need to start reading a little bit more of Wonder. And like after we finish this unit and this week, the last section or chunk of curriculum we have is shorter. And so I think I'll be able to extend that read aloud time a little bit longer. because otherwise there's no way I'm getting to 4th grade rats. And I was also hoping to read The Lemonade War, and I don't think I'll get to that either, because we do economics at the end of the year. So things to consider next year, because Wonder is a really big book, and I think my class last year really enjoyed it more than my class this year is, but I'm still reading it because there are a few who like it, and I really like it. I love reading it, but I'm like, it might have been, I don't know, we might have just needed to go with something simpler, and that's okay. Then for reading, we're doing our second day, which I thought the text that we read on our first day of reading, which was like last Wednesday, it was a long time ago, was like a separate text about disasters, and it turns out it was actually our weekly text, and I had just found it on Epic in a different format. So today's goal is to do our first read of our text, and we've already done a first read of like the first 6 pages or something, so we'll go back and just reread those where they have a physical copy in their hand. And we'll look for text features throughout because we're focusing on cause and effect. But today it's just top to the bottom, text features, vocabulary, stopping to make sure we understand what we're reading. Then our tech time, I have happy numbers written down, but I really need to get them doing star reading. So I'll write that down here, star, because we've got to do that. And then I think it's like their last one of the year. I'm pretty sure. And then for science, we're going to do our mystery science, and then we're going to finish our lesson on 8.2, which most of them finished on, actually I think all of them finished it on Friday. So we're going to do the digital lesson, which means I pass out the digital lesson paper and help them find the slide numbers. Maybe I'll show you that in the afternoon. But that's it for today. I've got a couple things that I need to do before the intern arrives. I spent my weekend, we're going to work on animal projects in a few weeks. So I spent my weekend doing a sample animal project. Fun fact, this is my favorite animal. It's called an okapi. And then there's like what the project looks like. I can't share because it's from a coworker, so it's not mine to share, but it's like they have 6 boxes and they get to choose different activities. Like one of the boxes is choose one. You can write an acrostic poem, an A to Z list of information you learned, or a journal response of what you learned about your animal or insect. Box 2, retell an interesting part of the reading you did, write 7 true or false questions, or make a picture book, poster, or collage about your animal or insect. So it's different creative ways to display their research. So I made my cover. Here's my this. I spent a long time coloring this yesterday, and I'm so proud of how it turned out. And then I did each of my boxes. So I did like the acrostic poem, the true false questions, the diary pages as a choice. If I met a no copy, 5 questions I would ask it, a haiku, and then like a review, 5 out of 5 stars for the animal, and then my explanation for why. So I spent the weekend doing this. I need to put it in page protectors because when we introduce this project in like, I guess next week or the week after, I wanted to have like a solid example to show my class of what it looks like. And so I made my own this weekend. That was part of my weekend adventures. I also got some peanut butter for our peanut butter and jelly drive that we're doing. And that was it. It was a really chill weekend, honestly. It was very nice, very relaxing. We went out on a boat with some friends, which was so fun. And I binge listened to all things Taylor Swift's new album, Tortured Poets Department. Love it. So good. I might turn it on in a minute. So good. So that's it. I guess I'll check in with you guys at the end of the day after the day's over, just let you know how everything went, because I do have some pencils to sharpen. I've got to fix my morning slides because I haven't done that yet. So just a few things here and there that I need to do to get my classroom completely ready. So I'll check in with you guys later.
Feet away, she's like a primrose. You're never taking me alive, so come close. And I know why you said it, 'cause I'm reading every word in your voice. Now I'm not who I used to be, and maybe it's a good thing. Got a good thing coming, it's a good thing. That we're not who we used to be.
Good morning and happy Tuesday. Yesterday was a great day. All the observations went well with the intern. Math lesson went well. quiz went okay. It was very telling to see who knew and who didn't. So I need to pull some activities and work on comparing fractions with interventions for some of my kiddos, but that's okay. And I think I'm going to do a little mini reteach. I put some problems in my slides for the problem of the day to reteach the skill we did yesterday, just as a little extra practice because I think they need it. So I did that. And then reading was fine. We did our first read of the story. Everything went great yesterday, which is really good. I got here early with the intention of, what was my intention? I got here early with the intention of going to make copies to finish my fluency copies. And that did not happen because the copier was down, which was very unfortunate, but that's okay. So it's still on my list of things to do. I've got a growing stack of things I need to copy over there, but oh well, like there's nothing I can do if the copying machine is down. So I decided that instead I'm looking for things to do for the final like independent work packet for my kids for the next little unit. A seasonal decodable passage. And I'm looking for stuff with suffixes because I was like, if I can make these masters, that's another thing that I've got to copy, but I can take it up there, so that would be good. I kind of like that, but it's 2 pages, so I'm not sure. Anyways, I just kind of go around and I look for freebies that go with our skills. So I'm just looking for like suffix freebies right now that I can print. I need to find 4 of them because I have 4 days to fill, and then we'll be doing our annual project for the rest of our independent time for like the year. Oh, here we go. Full. Yes, that's what I need. And less. Okay, good. So here's full, colorful. Is less one of the ones that we did? Yes. Okay, so we're gonna do page 2 through 3. We're gonna do it, print on both sides. Cool, so now I've got 3 things. That's exciting. I just need 1 more for suffixes. Anyways, today is gonna be a good day. We're starting equivalent fractions today in math, and then we'll be finishing up our text on natural disasters and cause and effect today. So we're gonna do a group jam on IXL to practice our cause and effect skills before we start the actual text. And we've already started the text with cause and effect, so we have 1 more box in our cause and effect that we're going to fill in together. So I think that's going to be great. Tomorrow will be like the selection quiz and the cold read and all of those things. But that is it, I think. Anyways, we had Bible study last night and it went wonderful. It was like our last one of the year. Okay, here's another passage activity. I kind of like these. It's our last one of the year. Oh, I downloaded this already. I wonder if I already found these activities. Like, did I already do this? Or maybe I just downloaded this one ahead of time. Okay, but that's what we're going to do. Okay, I found all 4 of them. It was great. We're studying through the book of Galatians, and so last night we were talking about like what the law is for, since Christ came and his sacrifice on the cross like replaces the, like we don't have to keep all of the commandments of the law like perfectly because it's impossible for us to do that, so we're not under that burden anymore. But talking about how like the law should still be there to guide us towards godly living, and how God gave it to his people as a guardian and like a map and a mirror to reflect his character and to show how we need him and we needed Christ, but how we still apply it to our lives today in order to work towards godly living, not because that's where our salvation comes from, but because of our salvation we work towards that godly living. So I thought it was really good. We had great discussions, and we've planned like a little get together for next week because we take a break off in the month of May, which next week is technically the last week of April. Well, it's the last Monday of April. The rest of the week is May, so that's why we're starting to take off. So that's exciting, but we've got stuff planned, so I don't know. I think I'm just rambling this morning, and I'm so sorry. I'm trying to work at the same time. I'm trying to get this last independent work packet done. There we go. Finding these vocabulary activities and printing them off. Let's go to page 9. But yeah, that's it. So I guess I'm just gonna work on this and then like go through my plans and work on anything else that I can start working ahead on that doesn't involve copies. But my copy stack over here is growing and growing and growing. I don't know if I'll be able to make them today because I'm gonna try to go home like on time today, but tomorrow and Thursday I can stay a little later. So if I need to stay later to do copies, then I can. All right, that's it. I'm gonna go because this is gonna be a lot for me to edit because I'm gonna have a lot of long pauses in the middle of me thinking to cut out of this clip. So I just need to start to get some more work done. And yeah, I'll check in with you guys later. Happy Tuesday.
Sometimes I'm alone. I wish that you lived closer. Maybe then I feel alright. Sometimes I get strung out trying to be myself. When you come close, I feel alive. Maybe that's a good thing.
Good morning and happy Tuesday. I'm gonna come over here and sort papers for a minute, which I usually do in the afternoon, but I did not do it yesterday afternoon. And I've got some things that I need to sort so I don't fall behind. So I'm gonna work on sorting some papers while we chat about yesterday. Yesterday was a good day. Our lesson in math was about showing equivalent fractions using a model. And by a model, I mean different kinds of models. So we did an activity where we took a piece of notebook paper and we folded it in half and we colored in one half and then we labeled the half, like half, half. And then we folded it twice, opened it up, and we labeled fourth, 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 so they could see that 2 of the fourths were inside the half that they colored. And then we did it again with, we folded it another time and did that with eighths. And so they were able to see like the 3 different fractions on there, the 1/2, 2/4, 4/8 were all equivalent or were all equal. And then we did the same thing on a number line, which was actually the lesson we did last Friday, but it was like, we did it again for equivalent fractions, not just comparing fractions. So I took a piece of notebook paper, I had them fold it in half so they could put a number line across, and we built a number line with thirds using our fraction tiles, which is how I showed them how to do fractions on a number line the first time anyways, is with the tiles, because they're like, oh, okay, this makes sense. I'm just putting tiles together and then marking things on a number line. So anyways, that was like a couple weeks ago that we did the very first time we built a number line with the tiles, but this time we did a double one. So I did thirds on the bottom, I think, like we stacked them and then we wrote the thirds on the bottom, and then we did our sixths on the top. And then at the bottom of the paper, we wrote like a couple different equivalent fraction expressions, like talking about how 0/6 is equivalent to 0/3. And I started with 0 because on their quiz on Monday, a lot of them forgot to put zeros on their number line. And so like they were supposed to be labeling eighths and they put 1/8 where it was supposed to be 0. And so I kind of emphasized that and retaught that yesterday. Or like 3/3 is the same as 6/6 because they're both a whole. We found like 1/3 is the same as 2/6, things like that. And then then we finally went into the book. Like we did all of that without the book pages because book pages are meh. But then when I opened up the book, there were like examples where it was a picture and a different kind of model, not a different kind of model. It's like what we did on the paper where it was like actually a rectangle that they had to divide and color the things in. So we did that in the book pages, and there were also some that were on a number line in the book pages, but they didn't have to build the number line. So I think what we did in class was like a solid start for what the book pages had. So I feel good about that lesson. All of that to say, I feel really good about it. Oh, sweet. I only have one more thing to pass out. Then in reading, reading was okay. I had them we went through and read some pages together, or we did an IXL group jam, which was actually really fun. If you have IXL, you can do an activity where everybody answers questions together, and we did that on cause and effect. I'm really a fan of IXL. Unfortunately, we're just doing a trial run, and so I really, really hope my district gets it. I was telling my team lead yesterday, I was like, who do I need to call or contact or email to say, yes, I like this better than the other things that we've been using in math because it's more user-friendly. She's like, I will send the message along. But it was just like, here's the cause, what's the effect? And they had to drag the correct effect into the box, and vice versa. Here are the effects, what are the causes? And I think it was like a really good activity for them to see, like in a basic way, the cause and effect and like how they connect to each other, which we've already done. But I made a note on my plans for next year. Gosh, sorry about that. For next year to remember to do that, because I think the IXL activities would actually be great for like introducing some of these skills at like a super small level before we start to do it in a text. So I'd love to do that next year. So we started with the group gym, and then we went to our weekly text, which we're taking our quiz on today. And I had them do some cause and effects for we've already done earthquakes and landslides. We did, not tsunamis, what was it? Volcanoes, like how volcanoes are formed. And we wrote down the effect, which was volcanoes are formed, and they had to look in the text to find the cause. And so I think that went really well. And then I had them read with groups the page on tsunamis, and I had them use the sentence stem that we've been using for informational text. Tsunamis are dangerous because, tsunamis are dangerous so, and tsunamis are dangerous but. And they have to like use what they've read from the text and what they learned from those paragraphs to kind of like fill in the sentences. So it's taking what they've read and like more applying it instead of just copying a sentence from the text. So we did a lot. And they did that with partners, and I think they did okay. I think next year I can definitely be more intentional with that and like partner work, and maybe making it like a little bit more structured. I feel like it was a little bit more on the fly because I was like, okay, I want them to do this with a group. But I probably could have had it a little bit more structured and like assigned a reader or, things like that to make the partner work go smoother. But it was just a quick 10-minute read this page, do this writing. So wasn't the end of the world, I suppose. Ooh, I gotta go change my morning slides. So now I'm up here today, and I plan on being up here for a while. I also got those copies done because the copying machine was fixed later on. I'm gonna be up here for a while today. I have a feeling I just have a few days this week, today and tomorrow, that I'm like, I can stay late if I need to. So I'm gonna get some things copied for my transformation days next week. And then get my plans ready for next week and things like that, and kind of get ahead on a couple things. But yeah, that's all I've got. So today should be pretty easy. For reading, we're doing the selection quiz and a cold read. So it'll be the quiz on their text and then a cold read practice where they're going to practice answering cause and effect questions. And I usually do that with a partner these days. So they get like true practice. So I'll do like, we read from the top to the bottom the first time together, and then their job with their partner is to read it the second time and then answer the questions and find their text evidence. So I think I'll probably do that again. And in math, we're doing equivalent fractions with a model, just looking at like more real world practical applications for equivalent fractions with a model. And tomorrow we'll review and we'll test on Friday. So I've been talking for a while. I'm going to go sit down. I've got to put out some birthday stuff for a student who's so excited that it's his birthday. So I'm going to put out all that birthday stuff, get my morning slide ready because it's still set up from last Wednesday. So I need to change the homework and change my Bitmoji and the date and all that stuff. And then see what else, maybe like finish making my to-do list for the day, list out everything that I want to accomplish, and sip on my coffee. So I'm going to do those things, and I'll check in with you guys later. And in case you're new, I did this over the summer, and it was in one of my classroom setup vlogs, things that I do for birthdays. I just have these little cards that I've had for years that I just ordered a big pack from Really Good Stuff. It says it's your birthday. I got a sticker because I have a big roll of stickers so they can wear a birthday sticker. And then I did these over the summer. Best idea ever. Cellophane, all of the stuff is from Walmart. Cellophane bag. Actually, the pencils are from Michael's. I used a reward to get the pencils with the fun erasers. And then I just have like a bookmark traceable thing from Walmart that I found, leftover Poppets from a Valentine's Day past, and a ring pop. And I just set that on their desk. and I'm gonna write his name on this. It's actually the greatest thing ever because I prepped them all ahead of time over the summer, and I cannot recommend that enough. Some of you guys might be good at doing classroom birthdays. Excuse me. But for me, it was like a point of stress. I have a hard time keeping up with them. They sneak up on me. I never knew, like, I would just kind of like throw out candy and a pencil and a little card. And so having these little bags prepped and ready, yes, it's the same thing. So they all kind of know what they're getting by now. But having them prepped and ready at the beginning of the year has been so amazing. And in my Amazon storefront, which is linked in the description, I have a page or a like collection of things and ideas for what you can put in birthday bags, because I was like reaching out on Instagram and I was like, what do you guys put in your birthday bags? And so I just made like a collection of things. So if you're looking for ideas for birthday bags for next year, you can go check that out on my Amazon storefront, because I will be using some of those things next year, because I'm gonna have to, it's almost time to start thinking about that again, about making the bags. But it's been huge, like super helpful for me, and it's eliminated stress because birthdays were always stressful. I was like, I gotta get there, I gotta put stuff together, I gotta find candy, and I don't have to do any of that stressful stuff anymore. It was just something that was hard for me, but it might not be hard for you. Just thought I would share in case you were wondering. For 24/24, cool. All right, that's it. So now I've got the birthday stuff set out. So now I'm gonna sit down and work on my computer and sip my coffee. One of the things that I love so much about iExcel is it goes like right along with what we're doing. Check this out. Like there's my iExcel, and I can go to skill plans. I have pinned the ones that I need. So I've got my best standards here, and I have my curriculums here, which is fantastic. I forgot there's also one that goes with like our state assessment, but I can click on our curriculum and click on the chapter, like here's chapter 14 that we're working on, and today I'm doing lesson 7, boom. And so I've kind of been assigning that for the end of my lessons. So like when we do our homework page, this is at the very end of my math lesson, we write our name at the top, and then we cross out just a few questions because I kind of simplify the homework, as in like make it a little bit lighter of a load. Now this one doesn't have a lot of questions, so we'll probably cross off like 1 or 2 questions. And then when they're done with that, they work on that iExcel activity right here until their SMART score is up to an 80 or higher, and then they switch over to AR time. So it's been chef's kiss. I love it. It is the end of the day on Wednesday. I am so worn out, but I've been trying to figure out and make a plan for tomorrow. I don't know if it's a Florida thing or a district thing, but whatever it is, there's this thing that's like, take your child to work day, and it's tomorrow. And students had to have like a form submitted, and we have the form. It was like, if parents ask, you can send them this form. I sent it in my weekly update last week. Nobody asked me for a form. So I just kind of assumed that my kiddos were gonna be here tomorrow because nobody was like, hey, I'm taking my kid, can I have the form? And then as they were leaving today, I had like 6 kids that were like, yeah, I'm not gonna be here. I'm like, I didn't get your form. So I just emailed out the form to all my parents. I was like, hey, a lot of them said they weren't gonna be here. Please make sure you turn in this form. It was supposed to be turned in by today. And I was like, send it to our attendance today, so they have it like documented. I don't know. So now I don't know how many kids are gonna be here tomorrow. And it's kind of unfortunate because I'm like, I don't want to teach. We're going to do the chapter review for math. And so I don't really want to like teach anything new. Well, we're supposed to do the chapter review and then tests on Friday. And then I'm supposed to be doing my language arts tests tomorrow. But I'm like, do I want to do the tests tomorrow if nobody's going to be here? And I don't know who's going to be here and who's not because none of them turned in their forms. So I'm kind of like, what should I do here? So my neighbor teacher across the way is doing like a Pixar movie thing where she's going to tie it in with cause and effect that we've been teaching. And then because we're doing cause and effect and then character development. So she's got an activity to go with the movie to go over those 2 things. So I'm like, maybe I'll do that tomorrow if I don't have a lot of kids here. But if I do have a lot of kids here and I'm only missing like 5, if I'm missing like half the class I think I'll do that tomorrow. If I'm only missing like 5 kids, then I think I'll stick with my regular programming tomorrow. And then on Friday, the ones who were not there will have to make up the test, and the ones who were will do the movie activity on Friday. That's kind of what I'm thinking. I don't know. It's kind of like, I just wish I knew who was going to be here and who wasn't, but nobody asked me for a form. And then all of a sudden they were all like, wait, none of us are going to be here. And I'm like, what? So that's where we're at. I'm kind of at the end of my rope. I'm trying really hard to channel as much patience as I can right now. And it's difficult because I'm just fresh out of patience. But our math lesson today was hard. We had lots of interruptions, like people shouting out, playing with stuff in their desk all day. I've had to move some seats because some people cannot handle sitting in the back and need to be moved up to the front. Just all the things. Oh gosh, my hair. Just all the things. And it's only Wednesday. We still have 2 more days this week, and it was supposed to be a normal week, and it does feel normal kind of, but it's that spring fever, you know what I mean? And I'm really tired. Really, really tired. So I'm popping up a bubbly here, and I think I'm gonna crank out. I want to make a reel, and I want to film a whole nother YouTube video about books that I love in my classroom that I've been wanting to film for like ever, and I haven't been able to film because I lost my voice and then all this stuff. So I have time this afternoon. I've graded all my things. I've done everything on my checklist. I even got to make copies during my planning. I think I put a little clip of that in there. So it feels good to have like all that stuff done. I've started my checklist for tomorrow, but I kind of have to make my plans for tomorrow too. Anyways, okay, I'm gonna let you guys go. I'm gonna keep sipping on my bubbly. I've got to film a YouTube video, and I'm gonna film a reel this afternoon. And then I'm gonna go home because I'm really tired. That's the plan. That's the plan. It's me. Hi. I'm still here. It's me. Cheers. That reel was hard to film. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, you should go watch it, because it was actually hard to like fit as much information about how I introduce a manipulative into 90 seconds as I could. I had to cut some stuff out because I'm a little long-winded, but I like really tried to cut to the chase so you can get an idea, like a quick snapshot of an idea of how I introduce that manipulative. But wow, that was hard. So I'm gonna finish editing it, get it up on Instagram, and then I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna rest. I'm gonna really enjoy my rest this evening because I'm just so tired. I'm so tired. It's the spring. It's gotta be because of the spring. Every day feels like 1,000 things happening at once. Anyways, I'm gonna finish this up and then head home. All right, I'm home Thursday evening. I'm currently making myself a little breakfast for dinner. If you've watched me for a while, you know, like an avocado bagel with fried egg. It's like one of my favorite breakfasts. But this week I've been eating quiche. Is that okay? Can you still see me? Okay, this week I've been eating quiche, and so I haven't been having this for breakfast. And I was like, this just sounds really good to have for dinner tonight. So I'm making my dinner, and I was kind of like out of what I made earlier this week. We were having like quesadillas left over, and I was out. So I'm working on that. Today was fine. I had like half my class there. So we went the movie route that I was talking about yesterday. We did like fraction practice in the morning. We watched Zootopia, and then they got to do beginning, middle, and end, write a lesson, and then talk about how the characters changed during the movie. And so it was a really chill, low-key day, which means everything that I had planned for today is getting pushed back to tomorrow. So tomorrow we will be taking our math test and reviewing for the math test in the morning, taking it in the afternoon, and then I think our reading test will be pushed all the way back to Monday. So that's fun. But I've just been like resting at home because I'm really tired. So I'm about to sit down and just relax and eat my breakfast for dinner and then shower and get in the bed. I did fold laundry, so I've done like a little bit of something productive. But I think that's all I have today for Thursday to share with you guys, because it was pretty chill, pretty low key. I wish I had had like their tests done before we had this day, because I could have spent so much of that time grading, but I was using it like looking ahead at things for next year, and I finished everything that I needed to grade and like their Friday folders and stuff, so I can't really complain here. But tomorrow's gonna be a day full of testing, and by the end of tomorrow we'll have a lot of things to grade, so that's good. But yeah, that's it for Thursday. I'll check in with you guys on Friday. Yay. Hey everyone, it is Katie on Sunday here, and we are on the road. We went to go visit some friends this weekend and to go and rate some roads across the state of Florida for David's job because he works in the asphalt industry, and so he has to like rate roads for these awards in June. And so we had a couple that we needed to rate, and it was on the way to visit friends. So we went out of town this weekend, kind of last minute, and so I never picked up the camera to like close out this vlog. And as I was editing this weekend, I realized I never closed it out. But Friday went well, except we have snakes at school. So I guess that's the only big update, because we have like a pond in the back of our school. So all outside places were closed except for like our hallways, because our hallways are outside. So kids couldn't go to recess. So that made Friday very interesting, very long, very exhausting. Hence the reason I never picked my camera back up, because I was just surviving a Friday and we couldn't have recess. So I had them inside for recess, which was interesting for sure. But I just wanted to get on and close this vlog and say thank you guys so much for watching. My hope is to vlog a little bit next week when I do my transformation days. It might not be a full week in my life, but I'm hoping maybe I can like vlog getting ready for both of my room transformations that I'm doing, maybe a little clips here and there of the transformations and like an overview of them. So that's my goal for this next week. We'll see if that happens. If it does, it'll be on my channel soon. So make sure you give this video a thumbs up and like it and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any content coming out in the near future. This truck just got over really fast. All right, and that's all I have to say. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.
Trying to